Let's see. I think I'll stop recording these and upload to YouTube, and I'll just highlight them on Twitch and then export them to YouTube that way. Cause yeah, it's not that much more work. All right, so let's take a look at this. Ash. Okay. Alex rotation. You see they're on dive, not widow, so you come out over to the high ground. All right. All right. So fundamentally, you played that fight decent in terms of like positioning, in terms of target focus, but you just gotta like chill out for a second and make sure you hit your shots. Because if you look, you're rushing every shot and you missed every single one, right? So you watch this, right? Just like watch how fast you try to aim at people, right? Do you like that's a flick? That was like a minor. That was a micro flick, right? Flick, flick, flick. Oh, that one was kind of less of a flick because you like flew to your crosshair. But like you just like moving your crosshair around all the time, instead of just like lining up shots and taking them, right? Um, so you're just making it harder for yourself to aim, right? And eventually, like you don't apply enough pressure, then your team like it makes enough space to get in, and then like they just jump you eventually.
They are getting on my nerves.
For what it's worth, by the way, Ashe is not the best pick compared to like, it's okay. Um, but Hanzo and McCree do just better in this matchup overall. Tracer is also very good. Um, it's just hard to support the Ashe with this team. But Ashe isn't bad, but like you're just on an island kind of. But yeah, like you were on a clock to do something there, and you just kind of missed every single shot. Ooh, almost.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Winston.
All right, you gotta look for the backline faster. You saw the rotation happening, right? Which means the backline is probably coming from that side, right? So I know, like, you're looking for the Ana here, right? But like, if you just like you don't see her yet, and she's not walking in front as they're jumping, right? Like you can just chill here until she walks in, right? You have to give up your positioning to go check for the Ana, right? And if she's not walking in, you check this side, and you're like, oh wow, there's an Ana right here, right? So just like play your position until you know where the supports are, right? And if like don't go hunting for them if it involves giving your position and then like having to like play ring around the resi with the Ana, right? Like this spot is like really strong, so just like stay here for a bit, right? Until you know where the Ana is, where the Ana is, right? Because if the Ana doesn't walk in and she's here, right? Suddenly she's throwing because her monkey is in, right? So first of all, she's more likely to be here. So you should just like see where the monkey. You saw the rotation happening. The monkey's jumping from the side. She's probably over here, right? But even if she was over here, if the monkey was going in, she'd have to be walking in right now, right? So if she's not, right, just check. Like, is she over here? Oh, she's not over here. If she's not over here, then you turn back to main, right? And you start thinking, reconsidering your life because you're like, how is the Ana make doing this and not losing the fight, right? Um, but yeah. So she's either showing up here right now or she's over here, right? So just things to think about. Like you're like very aggressively looking for an Ana that's not here, right? And meanwhile, your team is like losing a 6v4. I guess the ball is like doing nothing, so 6v5 or 5v4. Yeah, there's the Ana, right? That's what you need to do much earlier into the fight, right? Because if you kill, like again, this Mercy's allowed to do this because no one else on our team needs help because they're winning the fight already, right? So if you were here a little bit earlier, you'd either kill the Ana or force a Mercy pocket that draws pressure off of your team, so that way your team has just gets more done, right? Actually, I don't want to harp on that. You probably already know that, so I don't know. I have a tendency to like talk about something you need to work on VOD reviews. Just like stop harping on details too much. Mines is your worst enemy. Almost. Oh. They strike again. Oh my god, are you guys gonna win this? I think that wasn't meant for you. Yeah, your team's on point, right? So if your team's already like got point, like focus on putting as much damage in as you can. Don't worry about being on point, right? You had nano and like you just output like almost no damage. Only one person needs to be on point at a time, right? So as long as that person isn't like about to die, right, you don't need to be on point with them. Now, if you're designated point seller, like you calling that you can sell point, other people can say off point, that's fine, right? But if you're not calling that, right, then like you should be trying to be running to point while other people have it. This is good. Then you see your monkeys on point. There's nothing wrong with being on point if it's not costing you something, right? So like if it's giving up the opportunity for aggressive plays for it, then like maybe not the best. Alright, so you see the Ana now. Force a recall. Go tracer hunting. That's probably not the best play, but yeah, you'd much rather go for sports the majority of the time. Wait, just keep going on her, right? Force this Ana to run from you and keep getting Mercy Pocket. Force these sports to do nothing in this fight and let someone die, right? That's what you want. Like, you see how like there's sports like they like the Mercy healed Ana and then went right back to her job, and the Ana just like took high ground and went right back to her job, right? Make them respect you, right? Don't just leave as soon as like you feel like they're big. Oh, feels bad. Don't just leave as soon as like they start looking at you in general. Oh, your team actually won that. Franklin fighting. Alright, you're just chilling here. You really want to be checking this this flank constantly, though. Like, you don't want anyone slipping by you, right? You check this spot, and you check this side, right? You check this spot, and that's like these are the only two ways into the map for the enemy team, right? So as long as you know you can watch this side and watch this side, right? Then like they can't do anything, right? And if they get some damage on you, you don't care. You just literally like walk back a step, or maybe blink back a step, right? Like over to your left, so you get over here, and then you get some like a pack or something, and you're just fine, right? But you don't want to be stuck like you don't want to be not watching it and just over focused on this, right? Main is the least important spot, right? Because that's where all your team's pressure can be easily dumped. You need to know what they're doing on the sides. Yeah, this is cool, right? But until you count 6, right, you need to be scared about this flank. Although they're off tracer, so not anymore. But like, it's still relevant. Like a McCree can pretty easily just wander out over here and suddenly get on your backline. Alright, so there's a pretty good stick play somewhere in here. Just need to chill. Solo roamer, right? We're not really watching out for. Again, Tracer's one of the best scouting heroes in the game. Big stick. Nice. Alright, split from your team, go this way, right? Make it hard for them to walk in. Nice. And just chill here, shoot the right in the back. Great. Yeah, once you get into the fight, you usually execute them pretty well. The main issue for you sometimes is just like consistency on the details, like before the fight, right? Scouting, prep, making sure you don't get juked by the Ana in terms of rotation. But yeah. Your actual execution of the fights is generally pretty good. Yeah, so be careful going in too early, right? So that wasn't technically super early, but if you think about the timing and when you went in, right? What was your team doing, right? This is when you blinked into this room to shoot, right? And then you blink in again, right? Your team hasn't gone in yet, right? So what happens is these guys turn around, they shoot a couple shots at you, right? Blink out, right? And then the fight's on, right? And this is the problem, right? You gotta wait for this team to do something, or your team to do something, before you commit, right? It's great to be on the flank, but if you get poked out and now you're going in with no blinks, one blink, it's just sad, right? You have to go in now, and you have to catch up to the play, right? You have to catch up to the play now instead of starting the play on the same foot, right? Imagine if you like timed your blink so you were at one blink right here going in with blinks, right? So like you spent 2 blinks to get here, right? And now you're in with your team, monkey, like you just empty a clip, get a pulse bomb, or and then kill the lamp, right? And then you win the fight, right? But you're so far behind the play right now because you just wasted your blinks early. This is okay. You just had to live there though.
Complete. Score 0.
Ugh.
Ready for battle. Defend objective
Oh, we found the monkey. We shoot the monkey. Panics. Nice. Stop! You do this all the time. And sometimes it's like objectively just really bad, right? So we talked about the hellos, right? Like telling the enemy team where you are. And this is the same thing, right? You walk up here, and you're like, wow, that's cool. Let me just blink and shoot. This is pretty cool. They're not going to know I'm here. And then you turn around and like, boom. Ana's looking straight at you with a sleep dart, right? Yeah, stop. Like, you just can't, dude. Like, if you're gonna come up here, just like walk over here, right? Maybe even crouch walk. Do the like little like crouch mash. That way, like you're approaching max move speed, but you're a little bit quieter, right? And just don't shoot, right? Like, why are you shooting? There's no need, right? I know it's habit, right? But like now, like you're making this duel so hard for yourself. If you want to make that move, by the way, so that move is good, right? It's really good because our movement tends to go like this, right? So like this, and you can like blink this way, boom. He's not moving at all relative to you. But you want to do that when you have a full clip, not when you're reloading. So normally you blink, so you have like a free reload essentially. So like you buy time for yourself to reload during a period of time when you can't do anything, right? So that you make them miss more, right? That's good, right? But if you want to blink like this is for damage, right? So what you want to do is you chill, right? You finish your reload, then blink, shoot. Like 80 damage, right? At least. But you can't rush it before your clip's reloaded, or else like it doesn't do anything because then she starts strafing like this, right? And suddenly you can't hit her again, right? Probably didn't need to leave all the way. There's some Mega there. Just chill there, and now that way you're much closer and don't need to spend a blink to get to her. Nice. Good time with your monkey. A lot of pressure. Going right back up. I don't know if you need to go all the way back up, but not bad. Like once you kick the Ana out, it's a lot less important, right? Because now she's always gonna be accessible to you. So like playing, for example, like right here, here, right, and just like applying pressure to this part of the map to help your team like fight for this half is much more important than necessarily strictly standing here anymore, right? It's not bad to play here still, right? But it costs you a lot of time, right? Time is also a resource. I don't think you need to leave. You can just kind of probably chill over here and just like play ring around the rosy with them and with the mini and like all the walls and the corners and just like be a nuisance and that'll get your team in more likely instead of like backing all the way out. You don't die for it, obviously, but. Yeah, this is great. You made them chase you all the way out here. Just now go sit on point on their side of the map, and then when they chase you, you're on their side of the map, and you're just directly behind them, right? Don't regroup with your team like this. That's good. Again, same thing, right? I know you're trying to dodge a shot there, so it's a little bit harder, right? But you blink this way, and he was strafing like this, right? So that's like free, so much free shots if you just have a full clip there. Right? Nice overall. Yeah, going around is fine if your team was talking about setting up a dive play, right? It's just like difficult, right? That said, that move to like draw them all over here was a really winning move. So at that point, you can do almost anything you want. You can go this way, you can go that way, it's whatever, right? It's just really strong, like pulling them the way you did.
Objective A captured.
Okay, clearing high ground's important, right? And this is really good. But yeah, just take it easy. Just like walk over here and like, or like don't just like try to blink your way over this, and end up on the low ground anyways. That was just like a half second too early. And now you're paying for it in terms of health. Yeah, you just never even got healing because like your team couldn't LOS you, right? So again, don't go in from main, right? That's how you took the fire strike in the first place. Just like when you're here, just like take a second. Like this is why you didn't want to drop over this wall in the first place, right? If you want to help your team, like just sit over here and annoy the Echo Tracer, and then like make people look at you so they stop looking at the Echo, right? And that way your Echo gets a bit more free reign, right? Make them respect the fact you're over here, right? Or you can like cross over here and maybe stand on top of this thing and shoot them if you want to, right? But don't drop because once you're here, you're stuck in main. It's much harder for you to rotate. That said, if you do need to rotate, right? It's like walk out here instead of going blink, 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 right? Go. Like if need, like walk out here, right? And then go blink, 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 right? And now you didn't cross main or something, or like I don't know, like blink, then just go over the wall, right? Or blink over the wall, and now you're in a relatively good spot, right? Or just like I don't know. I don't know what other rotations you can do. Can you like blink over this wall? Probably not. But regardless, the point is like you don't want to go through main because main sucks, especially for Tracer. Because you spent all your blinks, you still took damage getting in, and you weren't able to farm your pulse in time for the play. And again, if you need to wait, if you don't have pulse yet and you're not sure you can get it in time, like don't be afraid to tell like Tito that you need a bit of time to farm pulse and to get set up on the map. Nice. Oh, she copied. Alright, you're looking for backline now. Alright, you took a headshot, so you're no longer looking for backline. Alright. You're working with Dan, so you get backline. Nice. You need a recall? Oh, I'm so terrified for you. Okay, yeah. I don't know if you forgot you had it, but that's just had to live there. You're making a lot of great plays, you just had to stay alive. Right. Again, every death on 2 CP attack is very heavily punished, right? So if you just live, right, even if your team's down, you already got a lot of kills. Your team just needs to stabilize at that point. And then convert it, like, and just deathmatch the enemy team at that point. If you die, you're not really out deathmatching. Oh, God. Feels bad. Don't all in for the kill. You don't need to, right? So you'd much rather save your recall and just chill on this side of the map and put out more damage. Because the kill doesn't do anything, right? The only kills you should like all in for are like if it's like a really low HP tank with no cooldowns, because like those are worth getting, because like otherwise it's like a bag full of support ult, right? Ryan's in, or no, Ryan Monkey. Yeah, this is just a really disjointed fight. Not doing a great job getting it together. Alright, your monkey's in, so you should be aggressively peeking at this point, right? Like, you shouldn't be, like, blinking back at this point, or, like, walking away. This is fine. Play this maybe a little too fast earlier, so you're just chilling, right? But as soon as you see that monkey jump, like, instead of blinking back, right? Or instead of, blinking back, just blink, literally just blink right back, right? Just go back, rejoin your monkey as fast as you can,
Winston.
because he needs help. Yeah, she was staring you down, waiting for it. Rip. At some point, you probably should just recall and taken the mega. I probably would let you live, but it's dicey other way.
10 seconds.
Go mercy hunting. Free hunting is also okay. McCree season. Oh! Later. There was an effort to nano you there.
Victory.
Did we defend already? We did. No. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So overall, that was fine. Your execution mid-fight was usually like very like solid. It was mainly like getting yourself consistently positioned like just to fight with your team, either timing-wise, or like not getting juked by their own ankle's broken. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. So on 2CP attack, just staying alive is the #1 priority, as is defense, right? Um, especially when you're already getting kills, right? So if sometimes like you're playing too passively and you're struggling to make things happen, right? Maybe you need to turn it up a bit and like risk death a bit more. But when you're already making kills happen, the priority is living, no matter what. Um, and then from there, if you get more kills, that's even better. But the goal is always to live first. And then also, um, before the fight, you want to sync up what you're doing with your monkey at all times, right? Unless you're fighting for like just generally like skirmishing from map control, right? But if the enemy is rotating and you're coming up behind them, right? When you go in is determined entirely by when your monkey does something, right? Um, so if your monkey jumps or the enemy team just like speeds and runs in, right? Then you go in, right? But not until then, right? Because like you're very consistently, not very consistently, but like for like at least 3 or 4 fights, you were just way behind the play, um, because like you messed something up earlier, because you either went you were way behind the actual fight because usually because you went too early, right? Um, and then that caused you to have to like you burn cooldowns to like or and time to not die, and then yeah. What do you mean whoops? But yeah, just need to chill at the start of the fight until your team's doing something, right? The blink into the charge. Oh yeah. I mean, he had a touch point, but yeah. All right, hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, come to me know. And then next VOD.